What's going on, everybody? This is Lucas from Hometown Hero. I have a very fascinating video for you guys today. This is the town hall with the U.S. Department of Agriculture and DEA Drug Enforcement Agency, along with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. So this is a pretty extraordinary video. So this is confirmation from the DEA. Sorry, I'm reading from my notes. This is confirmation from the DEA that Delta-8 is fully federally legal. Now, obviously, I'm involved in a lawsuit with the state of Texas, and that has an impact specifically on Texas law, but this is the federal perspective, and many states are citing the DEA as the reason they are attempting to make Delta-8 and other hemp-derived cannabinoids and tetrahydrocannabinols illegal. It is important that the information be spread, and I would not be surprised if the video of the DEA I'm about to share with you gets deleted. Please download a backup copy. YT5S.com has a great rip and download feature for free. I also need to thank the anonymous person who sent this to me. I know who it is, but they asked to remain anonymous, so I will not disclose their identity, but it is a very good friend of mine in the industry, very knowledgeable guy, and thank you again for sending me this video. All right, so I've got some timestamps on here. I'll be looking at this as we kind of go through it. Okay, so what is going on here? This is a video from June 24th, 2021. It's a town hall meeting between the Florida Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the Drug Enforcement Agency. People on the call. Holly Bell is the woman that you're going to see on the left for the majority of the video, Director of Cannabis for Florida Department of Agriculture. Bill Richmond is head of the hemp program for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in video on the right. And then we also have Sean Mitchell, who is a DEA Chief of Intergovernmental Affairs, not shown on the video, but on audio. I looked him up on LinkedIn. He's a fellow Coastie. So Sean, thank you for your service. Thank you for being a badass. And thank you for putting this out there. Pretty interesting information. All right, so we're gonna start at the 30-second mark. I'm gonna go through, I've got some important timestamps on here for you guys. So I'm gonna shut up as we kind of play through these and let the video speak for itself. This gets very interesting very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and do the intro with Sean Mitchell, who is the gentleman from the DEA Chief of Intergovernmental Affairs. All right, we're at the 28-second mark.
For us. And then also we have with us, one of the things that Bill did for me.
Sorry, I'm running at 1.5 speed. Let me put this on normal.
Is several questions came up about DEA. And so he connected me with Sean Mitchell, who is our DEA liaison, I call it. And I'll let Bill and Sean take just a couple minutes to share with all of you what they do and what their title is. And then we will go ahead and start getting some questions answered for you and have interaction with all of you. And you can type that in the live chat and we can all see that. So Bill, if you want to go ahead and get started.
Okay, so she mentions Sean Mitchell there at the 7-minute mark. Mr. Mitchell starts doing his own personal intro. So I'm going to go ahead and let that goes on for about 5 minutes. It's important that you hear this and understand who he is and what his capacity is to the DEA. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now.
Our team. So we can take it away.
All right, thanks, Bill. So we'll let Sean do the same thing, and then we'll address some questions that have come up. So Sean, if you want to take a couple minutes and or time like Bill and kind of let the group know who you are and what your role is and some background on the DEA and the hemp program.
Absolutely. You hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you to Holly, Nikki, and all of the FDAX team. You guys have been terrific to work with. I probably talked to Holly several times every month since this issue has been prominent, as Bill noted. I also want to just thank Bill Richmond at USDA. USDA has been just unbelievable partner with DEA, and I've been in federal service about 25 years, and I have not had interagency relationship go as smoothly as productively in that time as it has with USDA. As Holly mentioned, my name is Sean Mitchell. I'm the Chief of Intergovernmental Affairs for the Drug Enforcement Administration. And my role really has been to kind of been point on for all of DEA on all external issues related to the hemp program. And kind of like Bill did, I'll talk through just kind of the highlights. And first, what I want to state to everyone on the line is DEA understands unequivocally that we have no authority over hemp whatsoever. The 2018 Farm Bill clearly laid out that all hemp is under the jurisdiction of the USDA, and DEA clearly understands that, and we seek to have the absolute lightest footprint possible. Really, where DEA only comes in is when we're talking about when hemp, or as we refer to it almost as hot hemp, becomes a controlled substance in that it's above 0.3% Delta-8 THC.
Okay.
A couple of areas I think where we have been involved and worked very productively and closely with USDA has been. Can everyone go on mute, please? I think where we've tried to work, had an outstanding relationship with USDA on a couple of issues related to DEA is the DEA registration of analytical labs. Let me state up front, DEA clearly understands the concern from hemp growers, industry, and everyone involved regarding, the issues associated and the challenges associated with becoming DEA registered for analytical labs. We certainly understand that that's a long pole in the tent. We do not, and I repeat, DEA does not want to hold back in any way or provide, challenges or roadblocks or hurdles to the hemp industry, which is why we work so closely with USDA to make sure to provide enforcement discretion regarding the requirement to be DEA registered. One of the things I also want to note is, DEA continually works with USDA to look at the data to understand, when hemp tests above the 0.3%. And we hope to get to a point in a matter of just years, hopefully several years, where DEA analytical lab registration is not required because all hemp, 99.9% of the time, test below the 0.3% Delta-9 THC threshold. The other area where we work closely with USDA, because it was important to DEA and our law enforcement partners, but also important to the industry and to the growers, is to work on means for destruction and remediation. DEA didn't want to place a burden, undue burden on growers,
I think the
on law
intros
enforcement.
that he does is just really important to listen to
we
because
certainly
it gives context
understood
as to who he is.
the
So
amount
one
of
more minute of this and we'll
resources,
dive into the meat of
financial
it.
and otherwise, that growers are putting into this burgeoning crop and industry, and we wanted to make sure that there was a good remediation options for growers so that they could get some money for their crop should it test above 0.3% Delta-9 THC. And then I'll just close out. I think I saw some questions coming, so I won't go into too much detail, but I think now with DEA, as well with FDA and others and USDA to a extent as well, there's a great deal of focus on the industry and some growers as well regarding on CBD extraction and Delta-8 and other cannabinoids associated with hemp. And if I missed anything, Holly, let me know, and look forward to the questions.
No, that's great. So,
All right, so he mentions D8 at the tail there, so you kind of get a hint of what's coming. So we're going to skip ahead now to 2130. 2130, and Hawley is going to speak directly about Florida's position on D8, and then we're going to pause for a quick second before Sean Mitchell, the DA, goes into the DEA's position on Delta-8. This is super fascinating. This is the first time publicly I've seen anything with the DA on video. So let's dive into it.
I was going to probably get brought up as Delta-8. So one of the questions is, and I'm going to just state this for the record out here, Delta-8 is legal to be sold in Florida. For it to be legal would take statutory change. And we have a statement out on our website, which you can read, and how we monitor that and regulate it. And we do monitor and regulate it is we pull product and test them for their total THC, which is the formula we use here, which is the THCA times 0.8777 plus the Delta-9. So that number must be below 0.3 or less. We do test product. We do stop sell product. It will happen. So we are regulating that group, and that is regulated through food safety. So
All right, so here we go. this is the whole basis of this video. So Holly is going to ask Sean Mitchell directly about the legality, federal legality of Delta-8 per the DEA. This response is golden. So here we go.
I know that I've also, Sean, received several questions saying that DEA is making, has said that Delta-8 is illegal. Would you take a quick second and talk about that?
Sure. And I also just want to expand beyond Delta-8. There's Delta-8, there's Delta-10, there's all kinds of different cannabinoids that associated with cannabis sativa L that are kind of out there and making the rounds. So what I want to say and be very, I'll be very deliberate and clear. At this time, I repeat again, at this time, per the Farm Bill, the only thing that is a controlled substance is Delta-9 THC greater than 0.3% based on a dry weight basis.
Boom. I'll let him keep talking, but that's a big deal. That's a really big deal for that to be coming directly from a high up official at the DEA.
You know, I can tell you, everyone on the phone is that DEA, USDA, FDA, you know, and others at Health and Human Services are certainly aware of the concern of Delta-8. You know, we certainly are monitoring and receive reports of whether it be, you know, poisonings and other things. And what I can tell you is that we are working closely with our interagency colleagues across the interagency, because this is more than just DEA. This is also FDA and others, to look at all the different policy options and science on Delta-8. And we certainly understand that there is a large clamor for very specific guidance on and legality of that cannabinoid. Does that answer the mail for you?
Yep, that's good. So if you have any other questions on Delta-8 or anything else for Sean or Bill, type it in real quick into the chat. I do have one more.
So there's no further discussion on Delta-8 on the call. I've watched the whole thing numerous times now. It ends there, but that is pretty groundbreaking. That is phenomenal. That in conjunction with the Alabama DEA letter, which I think I'm going to do a video about tomorrow, and make sure everybody's aware that it's not aware of that. I will put that out there and make sure that everybody has access to that. So we're seeing the Drug Enforcement Agency of the United States openly saying that Delta-8 is legal, openly saying that as long as essentially anything other than Delta-9 at a concentration of higher than 0.3% in a product is legal from a cannabis perspective. That's phenomenal. It's what many of us believed all along, and why many of us are, you know, selling Delta-8, selling different cannabinoids. I don't think people really understood the law around this, and the DEA confirms that most of us were right. I think a lot of the states are quoting the DEA out of context. They're putting things in the DEA's mouth the DEA has not said or not explicitly, you know, tried to push. And there's a lot of people that are being disingenuous about this. And I think this proves the DEA standpoint on this. I'm excited. I was talking to Rod Kite about this. He's going to put up a blog post and discuss this as well. This is phenomenal. This is absolutely phenomenal. This is some of the best news we could ever want for Delta-8. So thank you guys as always. Thank you for your support. We've got our injunction hearing with the state of Texas. Oh, sorry. Actually, I hit a button. We've got our injunction hearing on, let me kill this real quick. We've got our injunction hearing on Friday morning with the state of Texas. Hopefully we have something out of that by end of day or by Monday, we're hoping. So fingers crossed there, and hopefully all goes well. And I know many other people are filing for restraining orders as well. We're hearing that there's some cases coming up. So I wish everybody the best of luck. If this is evidence that you can use in your case in some way, by all means, have at it. Not sure how relevant it is right now to the case, but it may be relevant to some person's case that helps them. So I hope so. So thank you guys for everything. Have a wonderful day, and please share this everywhere. Thank you. Take care.